a listening skills test. Before you turn it over, what I want you to do is I want you to answer the questions honestly and quickly. Don't overanalyze it. Okay, go ahead. Now, for an exercise we're going to do later, while you're doing this, I'm going to walk around each table and I'm going to tap somebody on the back. Don't look at me when I do that, because you're the guinea pig for later. Okay, is everybody done? Okay, so here's the secret. Now this is just for you. This doesn't get turned into anyone. This is just for you to gauge how good a listener you are. So the lower the total, the better listener you are. So that's for your own information. We won't ask who got the most. Okay, now I need, let's see, what do I need volunteers. I need 8 volunteers. Just come on Okay. To prove my point about communication, we're going to play a game of telephone. Remember that game when you were kids? They call it gossip now for adults. So I'm going to give this person here and this person here a piece of paper where I have a little paragraph. And they're going to whisper it to the next person. And then the last person, which would be you and you, will tell us what they said. And then while they're doing that, I will show you the real answer up there. So when you read this, then fold it up. And then by the time it gets to you, I'm going to have, I'll have a piece of paper and a pencil for you to actually write it down if you want. Okay? Yeah, go ahead and start reading into the ear of this person next to you. Quietly. So the other people. And then have them pass out. You're going too fast. No questions. No questions. Because this happens all the time. How many times have you been in a conversation where you're listening to somebody tell you something, and how many times do you actually stop and say, were you there? Did you hear that firsthand? Because sometimes if you do that, you find out that I heard it from somebody who heard it from somebody who said they were there, right? In Peters Township, a lot of people like to get the facts from the blog. And once I made a speech on the board where I said, you know, in school we teach our kids not to use Wikipedia, but as adults we go to a blog for facts. We're almost done here. Okay. Good. It'll ruin my whole theory. Don't help her with any facts. Okay, you ready? Okay, go ahead and read this.
All right. Did you hear that Sue got a new job at a law office and there's a restaurant right across the street?
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. All right, don't say anything. All right, here you go. Go ahead. Read away.
Did you hear about Sue's new job? She's working on 6th Avenue downtown, and her job lets her take every other Wednesday off.
Wow, pretty darn close. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you to my volunteers. No, you can go. Well, I'll get in a lot of trouble. Thank you very much for participating. So the idea of that is that a lot of times in life, we do listen to gossip. We don't mean to, but we just come in on a conversation and we don't ask the questions we should be asking to find out if what we know is true. The other thing is a lot of times we pass on information when nobody's really asking us to, and we don't really know if it's true. A lot of times I do these workshops and I find people go out into their regular world and they start to notice how many times they're repeating what's really gossip and I call gossip not necessarily things that are negative, but just things that you hear that you don't really know for sure because you weren't in that situation. Now granted, I'm going to talk to you for several hours today, and you'll leave the room and probably everyone will have a different picture about what I said. That happens automatically. But what I'm talking about is when you really get into situations, things get distorted. You know, when you have two kids that aren't getting along, there's always two stories. What did I hear last night on TV? There's always two stories and then there's the truth, right? So those types of things happen, and what I'm asking you to do to make the world a better place is just to think about what it is you're spreading, what information you're spreading, because that's a big part of communication. And a lot of people get affected by that you don't even know about sometimes. Sometimes you do. So, do we teach listening? I don't think so. I never took a class on it. Maybe here you teach, but I've yet to see that. And it's something that we're not taught in schools. This is how we learn things. As little babies, the first thing we learn to do is listen, because that's all we have. So we listen and we see, but I'm talking about communication. We listen to the world around us, and that's all we have. And then we start making those goo-goo, mama, da-da sounds, and and we learn how to speak. And after that, we learn how to read because our parents are reading to us, hopefully. And so we kind of pick